you? I'm Kristin Stampini and thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to talk about, last video I talked about hiring a virtual assistant. Now I'm going to talk about interview questions. I'm going to focus today on virtual assistants in a different country. So the Philippines is where we hire most of our virtual assistants from. The reason why is they start really learning English in the first grade in the Philippines. So one of the things that I look for is, number one, is if, depending on what they're being hired for, how much English do they need to speak? Now they need to obviously understand it, be able to write it, grammar, but how much do they need to be able to speak if they're a creative virtual assistant? So a creative virtual assistant, for me, would be somebody that's like editing these videos, transcribing these videos, SEO work, different types of social media marketing, all Google My Business is another big one for them, websites, different types of flyers and marketing, Google Pay per click, geofencing, for example, retargeting, so many different things that are in the creative realm of virtual assistant. So I have to think, number one is I want them to have a lot of experience. So I'm going to look at the different work that they've done for other clients. I'm going to definitely really try to get a references for the virtual assistant. The one things that are big for me is, have they worked US hours? Because I'm in Florida and virtual assistants in the Philippines are either 12 or 13 hours different depending on what time of the year it is from Florida. So are they used to working in the middle of the night? Who's taking care of their kids? So these are questions that I'm asking through the interview process. I want to make sure that they're not being woken up all night from kids, okay? Because, I want to make sure that they have some type of nanny taking care of the kids so they aren't being disrupted all day long. It's important that, for me, that they've worked in the middle of the night before, that they definitely have a nanny when having kids that are taking care of them, okay? That I'm looking at the work that they've done. I don't want them to have jumped around from job to job to job to job. I want to know if there's any gaps in employment, why, okay? I also want definite experience in that job. I want to know how much they were making. So I know if my offer is going to be competitive or not, because they will say yes, maybe that they'll take it. And let's say that they were making $5, $6, $7, $8 an hour and you're offering $3, they might say yes, but they're probably going to be always looking for another job and they're going to leave. So you got to make sure that you're competitive with the price that they're used to making. And they might say yes. People in the Philippines are people pleasers. So a lot of the time they will say yes, and then they either won't show up to work or they're going to quit after you spend all that time training them. So you want to make sure that you're looking at some of those, that you're looking at some of those things. Also, internet. Do they have a private area where they can work? Have them show it to you. I want to make sure that this area that they have is private from all other distractions, okay? And a lot of the time they don't. Also, what is their internet speed? Very important of their internet speed, how fast it is, how stable it is. So you need to figure that out as well. What is their communication process? What's all the things that they've done before? So it's really, really important that you know all of these things when you're interviewing them. Actually have them take a grammar test, a spelling test. Okay, you can have them do that. But these are all really important that you don't want them to get started unless you really feel that they're going to be the right fit for you. Because once you spend the 40, 80, whatever hours on training and working with them, you don't want to have to go back and start over again. And that's what I see happens sometimes. So we want to make sure that we do all of our due diligence up front, that we can try to make sure that the virtual assistants are the best fit and they have experience, they have, nannies, they work the hours, their communication skills. Communication skills are really, really important to me as well, okay? If the virtual assistant is a customer service or something like that, I'm gonna make sure that they have a lot of experience with customer service. I'm gonna role play with them, different scripts that they've done before. If they're gonna follow up with my, potential clients or past clients, what does that look like? So I am going to try to look at every single thing that they've done previously to help me make the best decision on if myself and the virtual assistant are a good fit. Hopefully today was good tips for you on questions to ask the virtual assistant when you're hiring. Please follow me. I share more virtual assistant tips every single week, and you can please like, comment, ask questions, okay? And also push the bell icon so we can notify you every week with new videos that we post every single week. And also, of course, subscribe. Thanks for joining me today, and can't wait to see you next week.